And what I want to show you is how service registration works. So this is not the actual full-blown example, but this is visually so that you understand exactly what is happening. So in here, when we create a service, we basically register each service to our service registry. And most clusters actually, you'll see core DNS. So this is what is doing all the magic. But basically, you can see that anytime that we create a service, this registers the service name as well as its IP on the service registry, right? So remember, we talked about controllers and watch loops. So basically, anytime that there is a change on our services, we get an entry in our service registry. Then on the other side, this is where, for example, the consumer, right? So a pod or an application can consume whatever data or API that the service exposes by just using the name. So we should never really be using IP addresses. So let me actually show you what core DNS is. So in here, I'm inside of this webpage, coredns.io, and DNS and service discovery. So basically, you can read information about it, but basically, core DNS is a DNS server which is written in Go, and it's very popular, fast and flexible, simplicity, and also it's part of the Cloud Native Computing Foundation. And you can see some of the users. In first place, Kubernetes right here. So this is really cool. Now, so core DNS is actually another topic on its own, but I'm gonna leave this link so you can follow along and read more about it. But if I show you the cluster, so in here, so let me go to our cluster, and in here, what I want to do is the following. So I want to basically, so I want to say kubectl get pods -n and then kube-system. So here we are getting the pods on this namespace right here, and have a look. We have core DNS. So also in here, if I say get and then service or SVC, we have kube DNS in here. Have a look. So kube DNS, that's the name of the service, which is backed. So basically this service right here has endpoints, and endpoints are the pods themselves, right? So in our case, just this one. So if I say kubectl, so here, and if I say instead of get, describe, and you've learned about endpoints and stuff, but describe service, and then this will be kube-DNS. Have a look. We only have one endpoint, and this is the pod that you've seen before. Now, what I want to do is the following. I want to get the services in the kube system right here, and take note of this IP address. Now here, I'm going to say kubectl get, oh actually, sorry, my bad, exec -it, and then here in our default namespace, we've got a bunch of pods, but here I know that I do have a pod called blue, and then I'm going to say -- and then sh. Now here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say cat /etc, and then inside we have this file right here. So where is it? Resolve and then conf. Now if I say resolve conf and enter, check this out. The name server in here, so 10.96.0.1 refers to the one that I've just showed you. So this is our kube DNS. Now this file right here is present in every single pod. Again, it's present in every single pod. Let me take you to Wikipedia for the full definition of this file. So Wikipedia says that resolveconf is the name of a computer file used in various operating systems to configure the system domain name system resolver in here. So the files are plain text, yada yada, and basically it's used so that we can resolve DNS. And this means that, so if I go back in here for a second, so still inside of this blue pod right here, I can say curl. And if we have curl, so yes, we do have curl. So inside, I can say curl and then order, or actually http:/order : or we can even say customer /API /v1 and then customers. Oh, actually, I think it was customer. So there we go. And you can see that we do get this JSON back, right? But in here, we're just using customer instead of the IP address. Now, what I'm going to do is the following. So here, I'm going to press Ctrl+C for a second and type NS and then look up in here and then say customer. So if I press enter, check this out. So we have in here, so just ignore the rest. So you can see that the server that it's using is this one. So this is the server that I've just showed you right here. So this is our cube DNS in here, and you can see the IP right here, and the target port is 53, and then the protocol is UDP, so 53, right? So it's the same thing that you see here. And then the NS lookup right here, and by the way, NS lookup is a network administration command line tool for querying the domain name system to obtain the mapping domain name and the IP address. So also you can do a bunch of other things, but this is mainly why you use it. So here you can see that we have the address in here. So when we said customer, so it actually gave us this. So customer.default svc cluster.local. And I'm gonna basically touch on this in a second, but basically this is the long name. So if I take this, so let me just show you that. So if I take that and then replace that instead of customer and then paste that long name, enter, you can see that this also works, right? But we can use the short name. And default, this means the default namespace. And I'm going to cover more on this in a second. But what I want to show you is this IP address. So when we did NS lookup, let's take this IP address. And what I'm going to do is press Ctrl+D. And I'm going to clear the screen for now. And here I'm going to say cube ctl get svc or services. Whoops. Cube ctl get svc, and if I paste the IP address, have a look. So this IP address right here is the same as this one. So you can see how things are working. So obviously I'm showing you a high level view of how this is working, but if you want to learn in depth and what is happening, so basically this is actually touching the kernel and other networking features that Linux provides, I'm going to give you a link where you can learn more about this. But this is more than enough for you to understand what is happening. Now, if I also, let me actually go back again, and basically I want to exec into this pod right here, and in here, NS lookup again. So if I say, for example, customer, and then with an O, for example, enter, you can see that it doesn't find anything. Have a look. It doesn't find anything. So basically, in here, we can try a bunch of things, but I know that we have, for example, order. So order, we have order. You can see that this is the address for order. And we also have, what do we have? We have front end. There we go. You can see that this resolved. And yeah, so you can see that this is working. And as I said, this file right here, so cat and then etc and then resolve.conf. So this file right here is present in every single pod. In every single pod, you'll see this file, and this is how the DNS resolution is possible. If you have any questions, drop me a message. Otherwise, catch me on the next video.